need to kind of continue with that swagger. That's going to help them throughout because we have a long roadmap of esports tournaments ahead of us in terms of the Honor of Kings scene. So this is a great time to build that confidence.
For sure, because like you said, this is just lap number 1. It's going to be a long year for 2026 HOK, and this is going to be one of the most action-packed ones yet. So, talking about this action, Team HAQ now in the prio pick. No, it should be the other way around. So, Team HAQ with the red side. So, Nova gets first pick. What do they ban out here? There is only one more big tank jungle left for them in this draft for the side of Team HAQ. I think they will ban it out for Nova.
If Nova Esports wanted to be BM, they just like don't ban anything. Like you pick what you want. No, I'm just kidding. They would never do that. But they're gonna ban out the Lung again. This has been the most picked hero in the KIS4 with 17 picks already, and it hasn't done the greatest. It has like a 40% win rate, but they're basically Nova Esports are onto something, and they want to limit as much as possible, especially Lola here.
Yep, I think this really gives into attention for Team HAQ, right? Lola, how deep of a hero pool do you have? If you don't have it, now's the time to kind of build it. At the same time, even if you get your so-called preferred pick, your team composition needs to make sense. There needs to be synergy and chemistry inside.
And I think the synergy is going to be the most important. It looks like Nova Esports right now is just completely focusing on Lola. Just like, how deep are you going to go? I mean, the Chicha can be flexed, but it's something that they are going to ban, look to take that away. They're going to go the Yuan, which has been the 2025 hero. It was one of the most popular ones. It has a lot of sustained flexibility as well. Just a great first pick as well.
Okay, Team HAQ are going with the War Saint with the Peacekeeper hovering over it. So I'm expecting, okay, Nova has already used the Mayin, right? The Martial Genius. That would have been a great answer to the War Saint. So, and they've also used Dharma. So what would be a great answer against the War Saint here?
I mean, with the Mayan gun, it's going to be a little bit tougher, but it looks like they're going to go with the Charlotte, just kind of bypass him altogether in a way.
Oh, no.
But they need to be a bit careful about, of course, the War Saint and his Razor coverage.
Yep. I said, oh no, because this is Muchi's specialties. This is Parasola. Already, we've seen Muchi be really godly on this hero, and I think, with the heals coming in from the Yuhuan Tunecaster, this is going to be a very tough challenge for the side of Team HAQ here. And once again, this is not even set in stone. The Yuhuan can go into the mid as well.
Yeah. And definitely a lot of flexibility. So this is going to play with them, right? And this is the brilliance of a draft. And you have to be smart like this, where you're picking heroes that could potentially be flexed. And now it looks like, okay, they don't think that the Tooncaster is going to be in the roam, so they're going to be banning out the Zhang Fei, another potential great roamer there. But again, it's just more flexibility for Nova Esports in terms of the picks.
What do you think about having a Yixing for the side of Team HAQ here?
Yeah, it's one way of kind of dealing with the Tooncaster. Like, it's definitely, I mean, if it's a mid, then it will limit it even more, especially if you're able to block it in, with that board. Arlie can kind of work around it in a way, but Charlotte, you want to just like lock these guys down as much as possible. But it looks like they're going to go with a Breeze Heart instead, another special of the KIS4, which is definitely increased in usage.
Okay, I was kind of thinking differently here. I thought Nova would have gone for the Fade, right? Because the Musashi is definitely a great counter against it. But here we have Kongling with the Broken Mirage, the Jing. How much of a flashy gameplay do we get from this guy? Because Nova Esports now have a long-range HOK composition with the Garuda here. The Majestic Guardian has landed into the Gorge. And Team HAQ will take that. It's going to be the Fade for themselves instead.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for Team HAQ, right? I think the Jing is going to just be flying all over the place. And they have like, they're skill shots, right? With all the stuns. So if they're able to somehow get lucky on Kongling's Jing, I mean, they're going to be able to kill him. But if not, they're just going to be, run over.
I'm a little bit concerned. Once again, tankiness is not really available on the side of Team HAQ. There's quite a bit of burst damage from the side of Nova, right? Specifically Kongling and Xuan on the side of Nova. Team HAQ, though, they have a lot of CC. So I would hope that that would be the win condition, right? Get the stuns in, right? Golden token from Lola. You have to set up the second skill knockup from Man. And then you have the Cannon Blast from Nono as well. Hopefully that's going to be enough to deal with Nova Esports here.
Yeah, but don't you think that both sides are kind of on the squishier side? There's not really frontliners on any side. I mean, yeah, the Charlotte to a degree, but that, unlike you have Yuan with the heals and things, but both of these lineups are kind of on a knife's edge in that sense.
But they have a lot of mobility on the side of Nova, right? Yes, they may be squishy, but they're pretty hard to catch. And this mobility is extended for quite a bit of time, right? Like you have the RD able to switch between the parasols every now and then, every couple seconds, and then you also have the Jing, right? Mirror image, able to swap positions, a lot of instant access. That kind of mobility is great and available for Fade, but not at this proficiency.
Yeah. I think that going into this one, that one's going to be the key, right? Just how they're able to kind of compete. Because this game, if they get potentially just run down, right? Nova Esports, this lineup, they're there to just burst you, right? They want to end this series in this game 4. At the same time, Team HAQ right now, if they're able to kind of like weather the storm and get their own stuns in and hit them, like the Cannon Blast, that's going to be key. The Honey Sweet Breeze, also key. If they're able to hit those stuns, they're going to have a good time and they're going to be able to fight back onto Nova.
Agree. I think at this point, it's all about Team HAQ. Can you land your CC? Because if you can, you already have a soft guarantee with the Featherfoot Fade Ultimate, right? Hardened Jade Seal. You should be able to take those neutral objectives like the Tyrant and the Overlord. Because if you don't, then you're kind of not making full use of the advantage that Bai is giving you as a Featherfoot.
I mean, Bai really needs to have a good game. He's been limited so far. I mean, it's because they've been losing the early game where they haven't really had much space. But Bai is the guy. He needs to ensure that if their team is going to win a single game of the KIS4 and they need to do it now, he's the guy that, again, needs to really step up this one.
I like this rotation. Bai actually gets the initial invade. First Blood?
Oh, Wave Pit, the flash! He somehow stays alive, even at level 1. Team HAQ not able to get the conversion there.
Okay, but this is still nonetheless a great start, right? You get the steal, so Bai is level 2 already, and once he gets the remaining buffs across the map on his side, Team HAQ, for the first time in the series, Bai should have a decent play into this game number 4.
Yeah. Those buffs are definitely going to help. And they were trying to be aggressive. So they've shifted things up and they've opened things up in that sense. But now Nova Esports, they're still up in terms of the overall net worth. It's minuscule at this point, but still something to take note of because Team HAQ right now, again, they're just trying to stay even with Nova Esports.
Yeah, and you know what? They don't want even. They want advantage, and they're gonna start trying to push Muchi away here. Unfortunately, he's playing really safe right now, so Team HAQ unable to find any other openings.
Yeah, there were too many. I mean, there were like 3 members of Team HAQ right there. I mean, Muchi will just stay alive, if anything. Like, you don't want to give up anything. You don't want to give up First Blood. But now it looks like they decide to go by, finding him out. They're going to get First Blood. And of course, cool people don't look at kills as they walk away, Team HAQ, ensuring that they do get that First Blood.
Insert explosion, and there we go. Bai with the First Blood. Beautiful move from that set. And this is an important timing as well, because Waypit is not level 4. He does not have the Unending Sorrow, which is the ultimate that gives you invulnerability and it heals. So Team HAQ, I like this way that they're playing. They need to continue doing this, right? And get the invade. Unfortunately, they missed the timing here.
Yeah, missed the timing. Bai, he was actually close by. Might have been able to smite that. It would have been a battle with Kong Lin, but still his positioning wasn't there. So a step behind, and it's all about those inches in terms of just being able to be in the right place at the right time.
Yep, you definitely want to come in at the correct angle for this one, with the correct reach as well. So at this point, Team HAQ, they have a very, very slight lead, but Nova has managed to wrestle that because they're taking away camps from Team HAQ. Team HAQ needs to find value elsewhere. If you can't get the kills, make sure your camps are protected.
Well, take that one. But it looks like Nova Esports, 3 members. John with the heroic charge pushing at least Wendy away, but he's going to go the long way around. He's going to get up on his horse. He's going to be chased, dodge. This is the mini stun, and this is good space. I mean, he might die, which is a bit of a problem, and he's going to look to dive deep on this one. It looks like Waypit ensures that at least he stays by, but it doesn't actually go to a player.
Yes, and this is value created in a way, but he has to trade with the T1 damage on the top. So this is unfortunate for the side of Team HAQ. So what they're looking for now is to really get some damage in onto the T1 at the bottom, which unfortunately is not going to be too much. So Team HAQ, they're still keeping up, but they're slowly losing control of the Gorge here.
But it's a much better game, let's be very honest, than the first 3 ones. This is a good bounce back game. This is kind of what we wanted to see Team HAQ do earlier, right? But the fact that they're kind of keeping on pace, it's like less than a K, which it speaks volumes compared to the last ones if we're comparing in that sense. But John now just needs to stay alive, but this is going to open things up for the Tyrant here. Oh, it goes in.
Okay.
Come on. Oh, he gets bursted. Just the damage is just unreal from Nova. They make him pay. No. Just one last shot. Oh, he has the shields. He stays alive. Oh. But it doesn't look like Lola is going to be as lucky. He goes down, and now the Tyrant is going to go the way of Nova.
Yep, the win condition completely shut down from the side of Nova. There is no Hardened Jade Seal here. Maybe Xuan has to give his life for that difference maker. But John, he can't even catch up. Unfortunately, Flash gonna be committed by Xuan. And once again, Nova are winning everything across the map. Those little things really matter.
Really matters right there. I mean, the Flash was committed, and now with the Wings of Judgment just zoning, they're not able to go in, and it looks like Bai not able to take that away. It gets stolen under them as Wendy gets the steal.
Yeah, with the last feather, by the way, this one hurts. I mean, feathers are meant to be soft, but this one cut deep for the side of Team HAQ here.
Yeah, definitely. It was definitely a painful one. Just being able to just steal that one with that last one. And Muchi spotting it out. John, though, he's going to get going on. And they chase after the mirror domain more for zoning and dealing with the minions. He's going to take some tower shots. He needs to be a bit on the careful side. But in the end, it looks like John will help clean up that top wave.
Yep. And this is where you start to see the gold advantage being played perfectly by. He's gone.
Oh, he's totally gone. Completely focused. He was going the wrong way as well, and Team HAQ were there, but they're not able to support when you're running the wrong way, and here comes the Wings of Judgment. Oh, the feathers are on, and it's doing a decent amount, at least on Aman, but they don't have the minions to continue on with the push.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? Like, look at the way they're playing this. They're distributing their resources. It's never a 4-man, 5-man fight. They're putting 2 members on each lane, pushing and making sure they're getting the turrets. Maximum value achieved. They don't even lose too much health, or they don't even lose their lives here. It's a very small kill game, but Nova is showing you exactly what you need to do with an advantage.
Yeah, and it looks like John looks to go for the Razor Cavalry, dodged out by the Unending Sorrow. Xuan has been killed, so that's a huge win for Team HAQ right now, but now they need to run out. They need to be careful, and they do have the control. They find Nuo. Wendy with that damage is enough, and they'll happily trade the Clash laner. No, they won't. They will just take the trade against Nuo here.
I mean, this is what you need to have, right? Which is something that Nova shows us time and time again every game. It doesn't matter whether you lose a member or not. You just need to find the appropriate trades, right? At this point, it felt like this game has been going on for a while, but we're not even at the 10-minute mark. We're still quite far away, 3 minutes in fact.
Have we seen a single game go over the 9-minute mark? I don't think we have. I mean, that's just how good Nova Esports here is. It looks like they run down. Oh, John gets picked off. Konglin with just enough, but he trades his life around. Thank you, Tower. And they ensure that at least he gets the trade.
Okay, that was decent, but they need more.
Yeah, they want to go for more. Nice little box. He's under the tower as well, so that was really well played by Nuo. They make it in pay, and they find at least Xuan as well, and now they're going to continue. Ball, not able to find Muchi. Oh, he does! Oh, but Ball's looking to turn this around. Muchi with the damage. Oh, but the Overlord gets in on the action, and he somehow survives. Nuo is very low as well, and Muchi will limp away as well.
It's meant to be a neutral objective, but somehow it turned against Bai in that particular moment. And I mean, the Shadow, the Overlord actually helping Nova here maintain a decent lead. It's 4,000 in favor to the side of Nova. But the biggest thing here is not about the goal lead, it's about the Gorge. Team HAQ, they have lost every single T2 except for the one in the mid. And right now, Nova can get that flank anytime they want.
Anytime they want. But this is a much better game. I know that Team HAQ is still losing, but they're actually finding kills, right? This is one where they're, again, backs on the wall, elimination game, go all out, right? You have nothing to lose at this point, so you might as well try. And they're playing better because of it. But again, just Nova are just so good, and this is why they have that lead.
I think the difference maker here is if they can find Muchi, right? If Bai is able to get Muchi down, this team fight turns really well.
Yeah, it looks like they're deciding to go the mirror domain. Mon, though, getting so low and somehow alive. And he's actually going to level up on his way on out. Kong Lin just using the end of it, the unending sorrow. But Kong Lin getting a little bit low. They take the mid T2. And now John is showing up to the party. Gets the heroic charge on the way pit. The power gradation is slowing him down. And it looks like the heroic charge pushing him the wrong way. And John gets sniped out. He thought he could make the play, but he's going to be the only one to fall.
There was a big disconnect, right? John, that was a play, but that was not the time to do it. The team was backing off. And right now, Nova, because of that mistake, they will be able to push into the T3s in the mid.
And those are the kind of mistakes that we've seen from Team HOK, right? Nuno is sometimes a little bit out of position when he's trying to go. Everybody has already been backing off, and John on this one tried to do that same type. And it seems like Team HOK right now not on the same page. And this has been a struggle and a constant weakness that has shown up in KIS4.
I think this is something that maybe the team needs to really work on here, right? There was a moment in the previous fight where Bai attempted to come in and get his hardened Jade seal on Kong Lin in the middle of the mirror domain. I like the idea of that. It's really difficult to execute, but if you get it, it looks spectacular, and it could have definitely changed the team fight. But I don't think this is the time to take that kind of risk.
Yeah, now is definitely not the time. I mean, there's just so much. They're down about 5.2, but it looks like the Jade Seal is going to be used to ensure that they get the buff. The box had been used just to zone, but now they're on the run. The Wings of Judgment not able to hit, but they find Mon instead. The flash away by Lola, just trying to stay alive, but John has been killed, and they will look to dive, and here comes Kong Lin, not scared. He takes down John. He's going to be under the tower, taking some tower shots, but Kong Lin somehow surviving, and Nova with all 5 members looking to end this game and this series.
Yep, this is the final gas here. No defense coming in.
No defense at all, and it looks like Nova Esports, just like that, they'll take the Crystal, they'll take Game 4, they'll take the series, and they will say goodbye to Team HOK.
Yep, that was a valiant effort from the side of Team HAQ here. This spells the end of their journey in Honor of Kings Invitationals Season 4. Unfortunate for them, but we will get to see them some more down the road in 2026 HOK. For now, let's celebrate Team Nova Esports, as they have shown us a masterclass of multiple drafts, multiple win conditions, and the ever-changing ability to adapt to the circumstances. This is what makes a champion team.
Yeah, it's all about that execution from Nova Esports. I mean, they got to be ecstatic and just very confident and proud of how they played, because Team HOK right now, it looked like they didn't have any sort of answers. They were constantly on the defensive, and why Nova Esports are the top dogs at the KIS4 and the scariest team and clearly the favorites.
Oh yeah, definitely the favorites for this one. I think all of the votes, most of them were geared towards Team Nova, even in the predictions itself. Now, if you haven't done your predictions, now's the time to do so as well. But it has to be for the second series of the day, because we're done with this one. And with a 4-0 clean sweep, Nova advances into the next round of our knockout stages for day number 2. So let's welcome you back into day number 1 once again. They have continued their winning streak. No blemishes, I would say, overall for Nova.
Yeah, no blemishes whatsoever. I mean, they died once. So I think that one time that they died, yeah, I think that like Kong Lin that one time, that's unacceptable. No, but I mean, a flawless game, flawless series. That's exactly how you want to play this one out. And why they chose Team HOK, right? They wanted to send them home. They thought that Team HOK were the weakest ones, and they went into that one. But now they move on into the semifinals. They're going to be guaranteed top 4. Really well played by them. And that's kind of how you want to do it. Nova Esports, just too strong in the end.
Yes, it is. And this is the kind of quality that Nova Esports start the year with, which is very scary, because I think we have seen a lot of teams, even if they don't improve, they stay at this foundational level, right, towards the mid of the year. So Nova Esports has already shown the teams that this is our bar. This is the standards we've set at the first lap of 2026 HOK. We are only going to get better from here, which is an important message for everyone in the professional circuit as well.
And that bar right now is pretty low, right? Let's be honest, for Nova Esports, right? They're just basically tempting anybody. Come to our level. Let's see, because we have 10 others in the back pocket. We're ready to go. And Nova Esports, you're just seeing whenever a team kind of contests anything, they tend to come out much stronger in the end. So this is a scary lineup that's only good. The sky is the ceiling for them.
I mean, it's kind of like life, right? You have to stand up for yourself. So at this point, this is where I'm really curious. I'm very sure the other professional teams all across the globe, they're putting in the notes. They're kind of like, okay, look at that rotation, look at the timing of that. This is the kind of draft we want to try. And the biggest thing for me is, look, Nova look very strong, but that doesn't mean there are no gaps. That doesn't mean they have no weakness. These drafts are beatable, right? So I'm curious who is going to be the first one to do it, if it even happens in KIS 4.
Yeah, and we're going to have to find out. I think that there's really, when you're watching that game and you were talking about timings and all that, they're all positive, right? They were chosen by Nova Esports. They were dictating everything in the game. I mean, they hardly died, and they barely made any mistakes because of it. So you're kind of thinking, it's like, okay, where are they weak? We need to find that out. And it doesn't seem like really any team has shown where Nova is vulnerable.
Not in the full series, for sure. But we've seen a couple of punches, right? Like Bigatron by Vitality. Yep. We've also seen Nongshim kind of punch Nova in the face once in the series. As we go and continue with this best of sevens, I'm curious to see if anyone... I would definitely be curious to see anyone just put this blood force into Nova here.
Yeah. I think that, like, if the other teams are watching, they need to find just being aggressive, right? Nova dictates the pace. They're great with map control. Didn't give any sort of ways to get back into any sort of series, especially when they have the lead. And you're seeing just like with these stats. I mean, Wendy has always been like top 2 damage dealer. Like, he's always there. He's so reliable and one of the best mid laners because of this, and he stays alive. And 64,000 on the Garuda, always with those Wings of Judgment, getting that steal on that Crimson Golem. He was doing everything right.
Yes, and because of his successes as well, this allowed Muji to really shine in this game as a farm laner on his early specialty, right? But we give props where props are due. I think this game, Bai really did impress me a lot more. His recovery was much better. The Fade Featherfoot pick looked great. It really was just the chemistry and coordination from the side of Team HAQ. If they can improve on that, I think that there is a healthy chance they can start to put up quite a lot of strong fights against other teams across the globe.
All right, if we have to go with like serious predictions with like MKL, I think that like let's assume that there's like 8 teams in the next season of MKL. Is Team HAQ going to be top 4 for you, even in the MKL? Just knowing what we know right now of the teams. Obviously, some teams are out like HBSC and things like that, so that's shaking things up. But do you think Team HAQ can really jump into the top 4 though?
You will get my answer on the next episode. I don't know. I mean, okay. I wanna know what the odds are. I wanna know what teams are in MKLs first before I give you a random answer. But for now, right, the answer is looking like it's Nova domination at this point, 4-0.
Yeah. I think that it's only gonna make, all the other teams in the MKL, shaking their boots, so to speak, because you just saw how strong Nova is, and they're just able to kind of impart their will on the enemy teams. But going in, Team HAQ right now, I think the biggest thing for them is it didn't seem like they were 100% ready to play on the big stage yet. And it's not really fair for them, right? Getting thrown into this one with the team that they had and the very little time to prep has been tough, especially since Nova's been around for like quite some time. They have a lot of ideas. The coordination is on point, all of these things, which is good. But Team HAQ, this is something where they need to go back to the drawing board. They need a little bit more time to simmer, I would say.
Yeah, for sure. And once again, to be able to learn from Nova Esports in this particular experience itself is definitely very good. I think if Team HAQ manages to get all the clips here, do the proper reviews of not just the bans and picks, but also about the execution of the draft, just find out what the gaps are. Nova Esports do have gaps, right? We've seen that even for last year in other events, in international events, they can be beaten, right? And they can be beaten flawlessly as well. But this guy is the one that was truly flawless today. The MVP, Muji, first time on the board in this series. MVP with the Parasola, the RD, 3-0-7.
Just really well played by Muji. I mean, he was able to just kind of out-style on them. And this is why Arlie is still strong, even though it might not be the top of the top in terms of the meta of a farm laner. But he's able to do his damage. He's able to stay alive. And we'll see a lot of that in the highlights here.
Yep, this one was what really gave me a lot of hope for the side of Team HAQ here, right? By getting that first blood, very nice coordination. But once again, because of the space that both Wendy and Waypit are able to generate for Muji, he is always left unattended to. And when you leave Muji alone, that's where he deals the most amount of pressure against you.
Like, if you're looking at some of these fights where Team HAQ was able to fight back, I mean, he gets the jump in, but the rest of the squad was there. There are moments where John went in by himself and the rest of the team was just like already retreating. So, like this is one where it was a little bit ongoing. Oh no, they did well on this one. But there was a moment where John tried to go in, wasn't able to go in, and that was when the overlord. Oh, this is the play, right? Where he tries to go in. Everyone else from Team HAQ was just running, and so Nova was just running him down.
Yeah, so much better decision making from the side of Nova. And this is where it really shows you, right? The better team wins. And it cannot really come down from a singular effort. It needs to be a team effort here, of which Muji, free damage in, they get the T3s, and once they get the team wipe here, the ace, that was a freebie for the Crystal itself. So once again, beautiful work for the side of Nova as they clean this series with a clean sweep 4-0.
Absolutely clean, and it looks like, I mean, they're not even really celebrating, right? Like Nova is, because it's like a business as usual.